영국 사람들의 영웅이신 만큼 저희가 대접할 수 있는 제일 좋은 한국 음식을 소개해드리고 싶었어요. 그래서 최고급 한우 부위들을 준비하기 위해 저희가 아는 최고의 한우 맛집에 도움을 요청했습니다.
안심, 등심, 갈비살. 열심히 해볼게요. Probably more people know his name than the Queen's name.
Yeah.
People just call the Queen the Queen. Everyone knows Beckham.
He's the king.
We're here 2 hours early. Time set up.
I am so nervous. He literally is my childhood hero.
Welcome to Korea. Traveling down. No, well, thank you so much for filming with us. Really a privilege.
Pleasure.
Now, you've been to Korea several times before.
Quite a few times.
You've had Korean food, I presume.
Yes.
Many times.
I'm a fan of food in general, so
that's very good to
wherever
hear.
I go around the world, I always try to find the hole in the wall places that
I love that. The places where locals go.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be trying hanul.
Okay.
We're going to be trying a few cuts that I think are especially unique to Korean barbecue.
Okay.
This cut is, they call this anchim.
Anchim.
Whereas this is 갈비꽃살. And that, I'd say, you're not going to get anything like that in England.
Really?
Not in a steak place.
Okay.
So let's do it.
What is the end one?
This one is 새우살.
Okay.
새우 means shrimp. They say it kind of looks like a shrimp, the cut.
I'm a big meat fan, so Korean barbecue was one of the things that I was looking for whilst I was here. So
I heard that you're a fan of kimchi as well.
I am, but I like it spicy. I had some kimchi actually yesterday evening.
Okay.
It's the first time I've really tasted it that it's not been spicy.
Okay.
So
maybe it was Beckkimchi. It's very different.
Yeah,
right?
it's still nice, but I prefer when it's spicy. I like spicy food, so.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Well, we have some kimchi today. We can try it with it. One of my favorite ways to have kimchi is to cook it up on the barbecue as well.
I always cook at home with the kids on the barbecue, so.
Really?
Yeah.
What sort of stuff
Even
do you
when it's raining.
Okay.
We always pick different cuts of meat and we go out to the barbecue and.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this
No salt?
is 갈비꽃살. You can dip it in a little bit of salt. That's probably how I'd do it. I would avoid the other sauces and stuff for this one, just to give it a little taste. Oh, you've got the right idea. I actually had to learn that.
Oh, really? It's amazing.
Kind of just melts in your mouth, right?
Yeah, that's a great cut.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it. That's good. That's good. Now, this is called 된장찌개.
Okay.
And this is kind of my favorite side dish to a barbecue.
Okay.
It's a soybean-based soup. It's got a bit of tofu in there, got a bit of meat.
I like the kick.
It's got some spice to it. So you all right with that?
That's the perfect amount of spice.
Oh, yes.
Actually.
Yes. It's quite spicy. Wow, you handle your spicy food well.
I try to.
You, mate.
I tried to.
I'm having some water. Oh, that hits you in the throat.
That's a good thing.
All right, 된장찌개. Have you ever had that before?
No.
It's
First
good,
time.
right?
It's really good.
With the meat? Okay, I'm gonna throw some more meat on the barbie. Oh, we'll try some 새우살, you know.
So how long's the channel been going for?
So, we've been running it for about 6 years now.
Okay.
Which kind of makes us grandparents on YouTube. Been going for a long time.
What made you move here?
I really fell in love with the culture when I was in high school. I was surrounded by Koreans, funnily enough. I went to international school in China. Actually going to my friends' families' houses and eating food like this and experiencing the culture through meals, that just really made me fall in love with the culture. And people are so welcoming, so warm.
Yeah. I always feel that every time that I come to Korea and people are so warm. So it's a nice feeling.
It's really nice, all right? And I feel like as well that the culture for food here, you know, it's just such a big part of the culture.
Yeah.
Experiencing food together.
I think food in general brings people together, creates conversation.
Exactly. This is one of my personal favourite cuts.
Okay. It's going to be hard to beat that last one. The last one was great.
It just kind of melted, right?
Yeah.
Oh, quite a marbled cut from around the ribs.
Yeah.
So you're here obviously with Adidas in Korea. And you've been with Adidas for a long time.
For a long time. I mean, you saying that you feel old with being part of the YouTube world for
6
years.
Yeah, it's nothing.
I've been part of Adidas for 25 years. So,
wow, 25 years now.
They've played a huge role in my career as a player and now outside as an ambassador. So it's
good memories?
Great memories.
I actually remember the first time I ever really wanted to buy a pair of football boots was after you scored the 60-yard goal in a pair of Adidas Predators. You know instantly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the funny story about that game was actually I had to borrow those boots.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a player, he was called Charlie Miller.
Okay.
Those were the only boots that were available. So they had Charlie on them,
No!
on the tongue.
That is hilarious. I had no idea.
Yeah,
And
they were
probably
good
me
boots.
Me and every other
They
boy
were,
my age.
they were good boots,
Yeah.
actually. So what are we doing with this? A little bit
question.
of spice or...
So, again, I'd give it a little bit, maybe a little bit of salt for the first time.
Yep.
Just give it a little taste.
Okay.
Oh, that's soft, isn't it?
It is good, actually. What is this, chili?
That is samjang. So, it's a yeah, I don't know what that
I
is.
just want to check first before I...
It's not really spicy. I'd say it's sweet. And you dip a lot of pork barbecue in that. You can dip that in that if you
That's
want.
nice.
Give it a little taste.
It's nice.
It's really good for when you want to make a sam, which is when you wrap it in the lettuce. Should we wrap it up?
Why not?
Fantastic, thank you so much.
We might have to have some more of that soup at some point.
Oh, you liking that? Fantastic, I love that. So, wow, you just went all in one. That's exactly how you're supposed to do that. You know
Really?
that? Yeah. Often people try and bite it in half and I'm like, oh, you're doing it wrong. Well, that was perfect. Well played, well played.
You're right, that cut of meat is good.
It's nice, right? Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. So one of the biggest players in Korea right now, from Korea, is Son Heung-min,
Yes.
also an Adidas man. I'm interested to see what your thoughts are, because people have drawn parallels between you and him. You
Right.
know, I've heard the Beckham of Korea, Son Heung-min.
Great player, obviously. You know, there's so many actually great players that are Korean, that have played in Europe, that have played obviously all over the world, but I always find that players that I've played against, obviously they play with passion, but there's a determination and a love of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what I always find. There's a real strength in depth with the way they play and the way they enjoy the game as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna get some more of that soup
Oh,
before
yeah, sure.
before
Let's
it
do
gets
it.
cold.
Okay, yeah. I'm so glad you like this. There's a lot of different types of jjigae in Korea.
So jjigae is a soup.
It's the word for this kind of dish. So yeah,
Okay.
soup, you could say, maybe stew. It's somewhere sort of in between the two. Neither of them quite do it justice.
Okay.
This is my favourite to have with
good.
barbecue.
It's good.
It's good, right?
Yeah, very good. Do you have favourite restaurants here?
I do. I can leave a list with you if you want afterwards.
A list would be good.
Some recommendations.
A list would be good.
Fantastic. Now this particular cut of beef is called the toshisai.
Tushisai.
Yeah, this is supposedly one of the rarest cuts of beef. So it comes from the middle of the cow,
Okay.
and that there, this strip, is apparently all that we get from
Wow.
one cow.
Wow.
It's got a bit of a different texture
Okay.
than some of the other ones. A bit of a richer flavour.
They're also tender.
Yeah, so tender, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm gonna put some kimchi on the barbecue as well. Most people find kimchi quite hard when they first try it. Do you remember what you thought when you first tried kimchi?
I actually always, because I grew up on my grandparents cooking a lot of cabbage, so
Interesting,
but,
okay.
I actually love cabbage.
Awesome, okay. So if you know anyone in your family finds kimchi a bit hard to eat, this is how I recommend trying it for the first time.
Okay.
You get weaned onto it and you develop a real taste for the stronger flavours. Quite good to have the meat with
Yeah.
that. I can throw some more on if you want.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let's do it, let's do it.
It'd be rude not to.
It would be, it would be. I remembered you running a lot in games.
Yes.
And so we looked up before, I found out you ran 16K
I did.
in that game against Greece.
I did against Greece, yeah.
That must have been exhausting. I mean, what's going through your mind? when
I had a
that's
good
happening?
sleep the night before,
Okay.
so I actually felt good, ready for it. I
Wow.
need to turn that up a little bit.
Sorry, you're teaching me how to
I was
do this.
ready for that game,
Yeah.
I must admit.
You were set going in, you knew you were going to give it all.
Just one of those games, to be honest, that I actually prepared well, I was ready, and sometimes there's games where you just know that you're gonna have a good one. It's good. Kimchi's good.
You like the cooked kimchi? We try it with a bit of the meat in a bit. It's funny, I mean, that game, I mean, obviously a legendary game. But
Great game.
Ollie, here, we were talking earlier, and he said the first time he ever remembers crying was when you got sent off in the World Cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But the second time he remembers was when you scored the free kick against Greece. Next World Cup.
Yeah, I must admit it was hell of a journey. Hell of a journey. And that was the real turnaround. That was the moment that turned everything round for me.
bet.
Especially with the fans. It was a big moment. And a lot of people say the same, that my parents were in the stadium.
Yeah.
They just saw people like burst into tears.
Yeah.
You know, just when the goal went in, 'cause it was such an emotional moment.
It really was. Even for us as a fan, you feel the weight of the country watching and like that, everyone waiting. As a player in that moment, pressure must be unreal.
It is, but you don't think of it like that.
Okay.
Because I knew I'd practiced so much.
Yeah, sure.
that when you're prepared, you know, this is really good.
You like this? This one is this is chimasai.
Okay.
It's like the skirt of the beef.
Got
but very well marbled. Well, I have to say, as a fellow Englishman, really we owe you a debt. Thank you so much.
Of course, pleasure, and thank you for having me be part of this because I'm,
Not at
like
all.
I said, I'm a big foodie, so
I love
to
that you're enjoying
experience this. It's amazing.
I hope you do get to enjoy some of the rest of your time in Korea. Eat lots of good food. You go.
What's that? Is that cheese?
Oh yeah, I forgot to do the cheese. Do you want to do?
Okay,
Do you want to
yeah,
try
you
some
have
cheese?
to do cheese.
Okay, well, let's do some cheese. This is kind of a newer thing. It's not traditional in Korean barbecue, but I'll put on a couple bits of meat as well, just in case you want to try it
Yeah,
with the
we
meat.
should really.
What they do is they'll grill up some cheese with the meat, and you can either have the cheese straight, it's melting,
Wow.
or you can dip it in a bit of honey.
Honey.
Just want to make it nice, a little bit golden. There you go.
Couldn't miss out on the cheese.
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me. I almost forgot.
In the honey?
Yeah, I'm going to dip it in a bit of honey as well, just a little bit. You like that?
I do like it actually.
Fantastic. Oh, I'm so glad. It's quite different from how you'd eat cheese in England, obviously, you know.
Totally different.
But the soft cheese works.
No, I
here.
like it.
It's mild.
And the honey just gives it that little bit of sweetness.
Exactly. Oh, well, Dave,
Amazing.
thank you, David. Thank you so much.
Dave's fine.
You go by
Don't
Dave?
worry. Sometimes.
Okay.
My mum usually.
Oh gosh, getting nervous now. Seriously, thank you so much.
You're
That's
welcome.
an absolute pleasure to try this with you.
Thank you for bringing all this down and introducing me to some new dishes. I liked all of it. There's not one thing
Amazing.
that I thought maybe I'm not going to like this. So
That is
enjoyed it
amazing. Before you leave, we actually do have a little present. I should say thank you to the manager of the restaurant we got this from. This is soju. I know you're here promoting the Adidas Hangul Ultra Boost.
Yep.
This is your name, Beckham,
Okay.
and Victoria
Oh wow.
in Hangul.
Oh wow.
So a couple of
Thank you
soju
very
bottles,
much.
a little souvenir.
Amazing. She would be very happy.
Fantastic.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. We usually close our videos in Korean by saying 오늘은 여기까지. 오늘은
오늘은
여기까지.
여기까지.
Perfect.
Okay.
You got it. Right, 3, 2, 1.
오늘은
여기까지. 안녕. That means bye in Korean. 안녕. Cheers.
Brilliant.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.
No,
likewise.
Thank you so much, David. Pleasure. Cheers. You're welcome.
It's gonna make great.
He loved the 된장찌개. That was an afterthought.
I feel like I just sat here and interviewed the Queen.
But the Queen
Except he
is
was really good looking.
Shit.
And-
The Queen is good looking.
In a male way. I don't know.
In a male way.
Yeah.
Okay. The Queen is good looking in a male way.
No.
I could tell you are freaking nervous.
It's David Beckham, Molly.
David bloody Beckham.